is possible. It started with a dream.
Hello and welcome to our global Stampin' Up vlog hop. If you're a regular follower of ours, you will know that we bring you monthly or bi-monthly products in the Global Share Fair. The vlog hop team today are bringing you a selection of projects on a sending thanks theme. Now I'm going to get you down onto the craft table and show you more. The best bit about our projects today is several of us are using products from the Savings Are in Bloom promotion that Stampin' Up are running. Now from the 1st to the 31st of March, there are a number of products that are listed on this leaflet that are saving 20% discount. The first of our products is the mini Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine with a 20% discount. There are then 13 stamp sets, 3 returning favourites that didn't have a discount in this catalogue that are now returning with 20% discount, and another 10 further stamp and die bundles that are going to enjoy a 20% discount. Now all of these bundles will actually work with the mini cut and emboss machine. The product I've chosen today with the 20% discount is the Pansy Patch Stamp and Die bundle. Let's pop those ones back on there. So this one enjoys a stamp set of 23 stamps and a further 21 dies. Here is one of the projects that I've made to share with you today. Now these beautiful pansies are actually no fussy cutting involved, but they are from one of our designer series papers. The Pansy Petals designer series papers consist of 2 of each of these patterns with the pansies and leaves, and on the reverse complementing colours and patterns that go with those designs. My design today has primarily used the dies to cut out the designer series paper for the flowers and the leaves, and some heat embossing and a decorative envelope to go with our note card. I'm going to give you a quick introduction to our mini cut and emboss machine. It has 2 very sturdy plates, and it's a nice lightweight machine but with a good sized track on here to use to cut and to emboss your pieces. I'm going to be using another one of our basic white note card and envelopes. A very cute size and work lovely for this design. Now I have cut a layer slightly smaller than my note card, and that has been cut to 3 1/4 by 4 3/4. So for my design I'm going to have a band come across here. I'm going to be embossing this piece. Now I'm going to be using one of the pair of embossing folders, one that says thanks in all different languages and one that says hello in all different languages. Because our theme today is thanks, this is the obvious one for me to use. To pop this into the machine, I would need the larger machine to have it upright. However, I want to use this one. I could have it as a landscape design, or I can trim this with my mini guillotine. So I'm going to take this just over the halfway point, anywhere, and just cut that into 2 pieces. Move that back. This will enable me to pop this bottom section into the embossing folder, and I want to make sure that the thanks in English is prominent. So there is my thanks, and I've got merci here and danke there. So I'm going to place this in my sandwich. So my sandwich shows me on here where to place them. I need a number 1 plate for a standard embossing folder and a number 3 plate. And I will pass that through. And there is the bottom section of my embossing done. You can see that lovely detail. And then I will place my top piece in there on a different section. So I'll pass that over here. And again, the fold of the embossing folder always goes in first. Holding the machine steady. And that is all done. So I'll lay both of those on my note card to the side of me. And then we'll move on to the cutting. I'm changing my plates on here to the number 2 cutting mat at the bottom. You can see it's very well loved and very well worn, and a second number 2 plate. Returning to my dies, I'm going to take 3 of the dies from this set and place them on my folder. With many of the Stampin' Up designer series papers, we can actually cut the images from the paper with the dies. So I'm going to take a small section of this and I'm going to cut some of the dies. Just match it around the right way. And then I have a piece of Scotch tape here. I'm just going to place on that in the required place. Just to save space on my plates, I'm going to be cutting roughly round these pieces. All of those images will be able to be cut out later. And then I'm going to take another piece with a different shape leaf. And do the same here. Laying it down on my plate and lining it up precisely. And another piece of Scotch tape just to hold them in place. And then I'm going to go to the pansies. Now I have my small dies today, so I'm going to take these pieces off. They can be cut another day. I'm going to take this little image on the bottom here. Now before I do that one, I want to just point out to you that some of these images you will find are half an image. So you have half a large image there, about 3/4 of that one. Please don't waste these partial images. These can actually be placed to the edge of your card along a flat edge, so they can be used. And the same with the top and bottom and sides. Most of those pieces can be used. So this is my last die to place on here. And I'll be lining that one up. And another piece of Scotch tape. Okay, so we'll return our second plate and we'll run this through the machine. I'll bring that back on. Once the machine starts, I grab hold of the top and just keep that nicely secure. And out the other side.
Oh, how we live, what we say, it's Stampin' Up and it's our way to love, live and share it today. What we love, what we do, makes a difference in me and you. 30 years of inspiration and love. How we live.
Going to bring you back to my card base and the 2 sections that I embossed earlier.
Anything is possible. It started with a dream. Our passion made a difference and built a family. We've grown strong together. You know it's all because everybody plays a part in doing what we love.
So we need to cover up this line, this division line through the middle. You can't see it very well on the camera. Where I cut that in half to get it into the embossing folder, well, I'm going to put a join over the top there. And this is going to be a piece of black cardstock. I'm now going to emboss the greeting onto this piece of card using my Versamark, my heat embossing powder, a dust buddy just to wipe over this piece here for initially, just to remove any sticky finger marks and give a good surface. I'm going to tap my ink pad with the stamp. This is a thank you stamp from the Pansy stamp set. And I'm going to place this slightly to one side of the centre. You won't be able to see anything because it's like an invisible ink. And I'm going to bring on a piece of my scrap paper for my white embossing powder. I keep a separate sheet for each of the powders so that I don't leave any little fragments of white and contaminate the black or the metallics. I'm just tipping that powder over and tipping off the excess, and it is beautifully clear. So I'll tip the excess back into the pot. Return the lid. And use my heat tool to just gently melt the powder. I'm holding this away from my surface and my mat so that they won't get damaged. When heat embossing, do take care not to burn your fingers. You can always use a wooden peg to hold the end of a smaller piece, and then that will stop the heat transmitting up to your fingers. Okay, this is going to return to my card and place across the side to side. Here I have some of the images I've already cut.
Anything is possible. It started with a dream. Our passion made a difference and built a family. We've grown strong together. You know it's all because everybody plays a part in doing what we love. You can bet it doesn't matter where.
Experiment with your different leaves and different layouts until you're happy with the direction where you're going to put them. And again, pieces like this and like this that have been chopped off, they can always be used as extra elements. So I think I'm happy now.
So just do what you love, live it, share it, you know it's what you're dreaming of. What we love, what we do, makes a difference in me and you. All these years of inspiration and love. Oh, how we live and what we say, it's Stampin' Up and it's our way to love, live and share it today. To love, live and share it.
The last two remaining images here are going to be attached with Stampin' Dimensional foam pads.
More than stamps and ink, it's more than just a card you see. It's part of you, a part of me. It's creativity.
So here's my card that's been embossed. It's been cut in half to get it into the embossing folder through the mini machine, and the different languages in the background. And I've embossed the sentiment with white embossing powder, added some floral images cut from the designer series paper and raised two to give it some texture. Okay, now I have my clear rhinestones, and I'm just going to dot a few of these round in the background.
It's our way to love, live and share it today.
And there's my finished card. Going to return you back to my first card and the envelope that we used as well. We decorated the envelope. So to decorate this envelope, I'll take that to one side. I'm going to use another strip of the designer series paper. This time it's the one we die cut the leaves from. I like to use scraps. This one is not wide enough to go all the way to the top. So I'm going to use a scrap of card in the same soft succulent colour. Turn it over and apply the adhesive on the reverse. This will go up to the fold but not beyond it.
Anything is possible. It started with a dream.
Like so. And if I trim these ends off, there is adhesive on the back, so we need to be mindful of that. Straight into the bin, and this end. Using my bone folder, I'm just going to press that down nice and firmly. And then this piece will be placed on the edge here, making sure to cover the bottom of the envelope. and come to this end here. So I'm going to take some of that excess off so I don't go too far. And we will apply the adhesive just along this bottom line here where they join, and then round the rest of the envelope. So making sure that this hits the bottom of the envelope and the corner here and is parallel. Press that down nice and firmly. I use my bone folder, and then I'll do the same here and trim the back of the envelope.
And you can see it's so much more than stamps and ink. It's more than just a card you see. It's part of you, a part of me. It's creativity.
And there is my decorative envelope to match my card. Okay, so I'm going to take the mat away, line those two cards up next. So there's two of the cards, two different designs, one using the designer series paper and one using the thanks textured embossing folder. Now there's one more card I'm going to show you that uses more of the dies. So this could be another achievement with the same dies. They are the larger pansy, and you will notice that there is texture on these as well. So when you die cut these pieces, it will actually emboss on there at the same time. Beautiful dies, the same one that I've used in landscape instead of portrait. Thanks again for joining our global Stampin' Up vlog hop. You can find us here every month. If this is your first visit, then please remember to click on the like and subscribe button below so you can be notified when we release our next video. Please click in the description below to find the next person in today's hop and see the lovely creations that they have got to show you. Thanks again for visiting, and I hope to see you here again soon. Bye for now.